Hello everyone, welcome back to the pod. Oh my gosh, it's been like 10 million years. Where have I been? Again, I've been here. I just haven't really been motivated. This is really high. Let me change that. Sorry. Yes, welcome back to the pod. I'm so excited to be back. Move this cord. Give me a second. Okay, moving the cord. Okay, that's better. Welcome back. I'm so happy to be back. I have had so many ideas, and it's been so many months since I've last uploaded that my notes app is starting to look a bit crazy. So I have a few different episodes planned out just so that everything can get done and I can talk about everything I want to talk about. Today's episode, if you read the title or read the description, it's going to be a bit about why sports fan bases suck. But the next few episodes I have planned, going over the news that I missed. I also have a playoff episode planned in my brain where I want to like rate WAG jackets because that could be fun. So I'll do that. But yes, today's episode, it's the first episode where I actually have something to talk about that's not news. So it's why fan bases suck. And this idea stemmed from a notification I got about Mitch Marner leaving Toronto, and like this stemmed from Mitch Marner. So player of the episode, we'll get into that, is Mitch Marner. So, but yes, this whole thing came about because I was thinking about fan bases in sports, not just hockey, also like Formula One and baseball and football, especially football, or especially hockey in this case. But like, there's so many scenarios where fan bases are crazy and like it ruins the sport. So that's what this episode is about. I'm so excited to be back, and we're gonna have a great episode. We're gonna have so much to talk about. So exciting. Okay, so Mitch Marner is player of the episode, and this all ties in really well because this whole idea came from this whole Mitch Marner thing. And obviously this goes back way farther than Mitch Marner. Also, I'm sorry if my audio is weird. I don't know why. It's weird and echoey. I know that, you know that, whatever. It's weird. But I feel like fan bases being sucky isn't like a new concept. This is a very old concept. And like, I think what so often people forget is that players are people. And like, that might be a crazy thing to think about. Like, oh, my guy's just out there. But like, they're people. They have feelings, they have emotions. Crazy concept. I wrote my notes in like I just add notes. I add different ideas to my notes app. And something that I had added earlier was baseball player being heckled. And this was in reference to a baseball player being heckled while on the field about his mental health. Recently, as of like 2 days ago, a baseball player was recently heckled by a fan of an opposing team about his dead mom. And like, that man who heckled him has since been banned from every MLB stadium ever, so he can never go back. And that's the right thing to do. Like, I'm glad that the MLB took initiative and was like, hey, you're banned, because that's so beyond messed up. And I think a player like might have committed suicide. I don't know if it was necessarily about being heckled, or maybe it was just his mental health, which if that was the case, that has no relevance to this conversation. But like, people like kill themselves over this. Sorry, this is getting really dark, but that's something that people forget when it comes to like famous people for some reason. Like, apparently famous people are so out of the ordinary that like suicide doesn't seem real or something. So I think that's what people need to think about. Like, people have emotions, and these people definitely have emotions, especially when you're consistently talking bad about them on social media. They have emotions. Something else. I'm reading my notes. This is awkward. Most of this has to do with like hockey, but I do have some stuff about Formula One. The WAG bullying is getting out of hand. Like, I think so. Like, I know so. Like, I've witnessed it on multiple social media platforms. Like, people on TikTok are crazy. Like, why do you have entire TikTok pages dedicated to a WAG that you don't like? That's insane. And like, saying someone's relationship is for PR, like, that's still a person. Like, That's so weird. I'm sorry that you like this man, but he doesn't know you, and he's not gonna know you exist. Like, that's so beyond weird. Like, get help. Like, I was talking about this in my Lauren Kyle McDavid episode. Like, people need to leave wags alone. Like, they are literally the most, they have nothing. Okay, you bringing up a wag is weird because they have nothing to do with this sport other than the fact that they are supporting the person that they are in a relationship with. Like, you're a weirdo. I'm sorry that they're not in love with you, but that's so weird to bring someone up that you don't know. Wag bullying is getting out of hand, though. Like, the one example that comes to mind from Formula One is Lando Norris. Oh, also, Charles Leclerc, his girlfriend. Leave her alone. You guys are weird. Like, that man is not, like, trapped in a relationship. He's a fully consenting adult. He is okay. Something else, also, like, soccer fans are weird. Like, you're a full-grown man calling a woman fat who just had a baby. Like, that's peak loser behavior. Like, that woman carried a child, gave birth, and you're like, you're fat. You're fat. What are you talking about? I feel like British people are just, like, another breed of insane. And, like, coming from an American, you're a different breed of insane to, like, comment on another person's appearance. Especially of, like, an athlete. Like, you're, whatever. This is crazy. Other sports, I'm going to talk about other sports, and then we're going to make our way back to hockey, because that is what you came to this episode for. Football fans are weird. Again, with wags, like, you're a weirdo. I am a Taylor Swift fan. So we like her in this house. We support, yes. But when Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce started dating, the media was so weird. Like, the grown men who would get upset with her showing up on screen for like 0.5 seconds, maybe you need to reconsider what you're doing. Like, because I say like so much, I'm so sorry. It's just the pause, I don't know what to say. But that is so... She literally shows up on screen for 0.5 seconds. You're losing your mind because she's there, because you hate women so much that the thought of one being more successful than you, making more money than you, doing better things than you, like, that makes your little head explode. Like, you need to get help. Like, that's not... So, the Taylor Swift hate... Basically, the Taylor Swift hate was crazy. And, like, it all just comes back to wags. Like, you all are so weird. Leave these women alone. They're just trained to support their partners. And we have grown men out here, like, saying that you're ugly and fat and stupid. Like, takes one to know one, I guess. Like, look in a mirror, maybe. Whatever. Moving on. Okay, now we're going to get back into hockey. And I guess we're going to get into hockey, and then we're going to talk about, like, sports as a whole. Like, sports fan bases as a whole. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens in hockey that also happens in other sports. So I guess... The entirety of my notes is just talking about Toronto Maple Leafs fans, because you're kind of cuckoo bananas, guys. Like, not all of you, just the weirdos, you're cuckoo bananas. I think because there's such a prestige when it comes to Toronto that everyone has higher standards, just because it is, like, a core 4 team or whatever. But, like, even then, like, Montreal fans aren't cuckoo bananas. Or maybe I'm just not involved in the Montreal lore, that I just don't pay attention. But Toronto, you guys are another breed, and it's not necessarily a good breed. So I think Mitch Marner's great, and not even just, like, player-wise. I think personality-wise, like, I think he's a great guy. He does a lot for his community. He has, like, a foundation. I don't know what he does necessarily, because everyone has their own foundation, whatever. But, like, he seems like a really great guy on and off the ice. But for some reason, Toronto Maple Leafs fans hate their guys. Like, they hate their players. Like, the way you treat them is crazy. He's on your team. Support him. Why are you talking S-H-I-T about him on Twitter? Like, you're a weirdo. That's not normal. And honestly, I don't blame him for wanting to leave, because that fan base is so beyond toxic that it kind of ruins, like, when you have a passion for something and there's people there that are trying to, like, tear you down, it makes sense why you would want to leave. And I don't blame him. Like, honestly, I hope he ends up on a team that wins the cup, because just to, like, stun all of those guys' faces, like, that totally makes sense. So, and when the news eventually comes out, that fan base has no one to blame but themselves, honestly, because he's not, like, maybe he's not the best player in the league, but he's definitely, like, a top player. Like, he's one of your top guys, and you're, like, consistently tearing him down. You need to, like, get help. That's so weird. Also, William Nylander, I know he got so much hate. I don't remember necessarily when he got a lot of hate, but I know he does get a lot of hate. And, like, people made fun of him when he had migraines last season. Like, that's awful. I've had migraines, like, and, like, I've had to sit out, like, to be a professional athlete and to, like, have to go through that. Like, I wouldn't want to play that game either, especially because you're getting, like, shoved into boards by 200-pound men at, like, full speed. That's not good for your migraine. Like, you could die. Football players, like, I don't know if they've had migraines, but they definitely have head injuries. So imagine, like, hockey players' head injuries. Like, that's probably so crazy. So, yeah, that's crazy. Fan bases are crazy, guys. And I feel like there's a fine line between, like, chirping and joking and making fun of the guys, and there's also, like, there's the fine line between that and also bullying and harassing these players. And that line has been crossed so far that you can't go back now. Like, that man doesn't want to be on this team anymore, and that has to say something about your fan base. And maybe it has more to do with just the fan base. Maybe it's management. Maybe it's ethics. Maybe it's the team. I don't know. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of what goes on in his head. But I think the fan base is a big contributing factor to why he wants to leave. And why everyone's like, oh, why didn't he leave, like, before playoffs? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. His wife was, like, 8 months pregnant. Like, he probably didn't want to, like, leave the city he's known for the past, like, I don't know how long he's been there, I'm sorry. But, like, he probably didn't want to leave there with his wife pregnant. Like, there's so much that goes into this that we don't know. But what we do know from what we can see, this fan base is so incredibly toxic. Like, the bad people. Like, not everyone in the fan base. I know people who are Leafs fans. They're great. They're not, like, psychos who are, like, you suck and you should, like, leave and kill yourself or whatever. Like, but the fan base that is toxic, it's awful. And it probably is, like, soul-crushing. And it sucks the life out of you. So that totally makes sense. Something else. Okay, moving on from hockey. Because I feel like there's definitely so much more I could talk about when it comes to fan bases sucking in hockey. Like, I was thinking of stuff on the bus today. Like, something that came to mind was Eric Holla when he, in Carolina. Like, the fan base was awful to him, I think. Which is also probably why he left Carolina and went to a different team. Because the fan base sucked so bad. And, like, even after, like, when the Devils played the Canes, I think maybe, like, the first time he had, like, left, they were awful to him. And, like, they were, like, taunting him, making fun of him for, like, a loss. And, like, that's so below the belt. You don't make fun of people who have died. Like, that's just so beyond wrong. So, another fan base. I'm looking at my wall of pictures because there's a giant wall of pictures. I don't know. But, like, people just know where to hit you where it hurts. And, like, they use that to their advantage when it comes to sports, which is such a low blow. Like, this is a game that's supposed to be fun, and you're like, let's go taunt someone for the death of their mom. Like, you have to be a psycho. That's so stupid. This more so has stuff to do, I mean, the booing your team, that's stupid. That happened during playoffs. Like, I guess it makes sense it doesn't even make sense. Like, during playoffs of all times, like, they're working their asses off, and like many of them play through injuries, which is a totally different story that we will talk about at a different time because that is so stupid. But like many of them are playing through injuries. Like that's the thing you work for during the season. You work to play in the playoffs, and that's such a hard time for an athlete to go through, I feel like. And you're like, let's boo them. Like, that's stupid. They're playing for you. I mean, they're playing for themselves, but they're playing because they want to win. And they want to win for, like, their fan base and for them. Like, that's so stupid. Okay. Anyways, something that pisses me off when it comes to not even just hockey, but sports in general, like, when a player gets traded and, like, maybe you don't get the best side of the trade, like, maybe, like, but then you, like, start talking shit on social media, like, that's like a capital loser behavior. Like, the thing that comes to mind right now, literally last night, the Sabres traded JJ Paterka to Utah, and they maybe didn't get the best transaction. Like, maybe Buffalo didn't win the trade. But everyone, like, I'm sorry that happened to you, and maybe Buffalo's not doing the best either, but that's a different story. Maybe Buffalo needs to fire their GM, but that's a different story. But everyone is, like, talking about how they lost the trade. But, like, those are still people. Like, those are still... You're talking shit about players and their people. Like, that just pisses me off. Also because I really like Michael Kesselring. Like, that's my king. And everyone's, like, talking about how bad he is. To make it to a professional level, you have to be good. So it's not like he's awful. Like, there are definitely players that are worse than him, that do so much worse. But I think he's great. Everyone has their little guys that they love, and he's someone I love. So I will not accept any criticism about him. I also had something else in my notes. Grown men in comments talking about how the league is going soft when, like, a call is made or whatever. I think that's so stupid, especially because, like, obviously, I mean, sometimes the call is soft. Maybe sometimes the league is soft. But in most scenarios that I see online, the league isn't soft. Like, it's the right call being made. That's what I think. Like, in most scenarios, the right call is being made because I think if you have to be stretchered off the ice, that's not a soft call. Like, that's the right call. Or, like, someone being suspended for something. Like, that's not... And, like, the suspension happened from a call that happened on the ice where a player goes down and they have to be stretchered off the ice, whatever. I don't think that's a soft call. Like, I think all these men that are talking about this, I think they expect the league to be like... I think I don't know. It's just... When did I write this? I don't know. Where's my head? I don't know. But... most of the time when the grown men in the comments are like, oh, the league's going soft, it's when, like, the right thing is happening and the right thing is coming out of it. Like, I don't know. Also, the grown men in comments are old and ugly and gross and can't play the sport. So, like, look in a mirror. Again, look in a mirror. Okay. I think that's all I have in my notes for now about this situation. Yes, all in all, fan bases suck. Players are people. Treat them as people. They have emotions. They have feelings. And you calling someone an asshole on Twitter is not going to solve the problem. Everyone loves this sport. Everyone who's playing it, everyone who's coaching it, everyone who's working in the industry, everyone loves this sport. So to talk shit about the people who are playing it, who are doing their jobs, that's loser behavior. Like, you're a loser. They're just doing their jobs, and you're like, you're chirping them, and that's so stupid. So, yeah, that's all I've got for now. So, yeah. Do I have anything else to talk about? All I really had to talk about, I'm sorry, this episode is so short. I just thought I would have more to talk about, and I thought that what I was saying was quite profound, so I'm sorry that this episode is short. I do have more stuff planned. It will be coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. Do I have anything else to say? Is there anything else in my notes? what are my opinions on the finals, on the on the Stanley Cup finals that just happened like 3 weeks ago? I unfollowed the NHL Instagram account right after the Carolina Hurricanes were eliminated from the playoffs. So that's how I feel. Florida, I hate you. Every Florida team, you can suck it. I don't care. Sorry if that's your team. I just don't like them. I don't care. Everyone, we should send Corey Perry to Florida, please. I beg of you. Send that man there. Continue his generational curse that is most likely happening. Love my Lorbos till the day I die. I don't know. Do I have anything else to say? And, I don't know. Go Giants. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. Those are my opinions on the playoffs. I think Florida sucks. I honestly, who was I rooting for? Edmonton or Florida? A bomb to blow up the place. Because I was not rooting for either of those teams. Honestly, can't believe the Colorado Avalanche have been Stanley Cup winners since 2022. Was it 2022? Guys, I feel like a fake fan. It was 3 years ago. It was 2022. So I'm going to look this up to make sure. Yeah. Woohoo. 2022? Pause. Sorry. Yes, I was correct. It was the best day of my life. Thank you very much. Colorado Avalanche till I die. Thank you. Can't believe they've been winners since 2022. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening. I can't stop saying I'm sorry. This episode is so short. I'm sorry. Thought I would have more to talk about, really. You guys are all amazing, and I will see you real soon. Goodbye.